Rose came down bad on his left foot, holding on to his knee and down.
Had he not gotten injured, Derrick Rose would have been the greatest guard we have ever seen in the history of basketball.
Get out the machine. They tell me that it's tore. I'm never going to be the same.
What if Derrick Rose never got injured? Today we're going to find out using NBA 2K, starting off in the 2012 playoffs where D-Rose would be staying healthy for the entirety of the Bulls' run. But while he won't have to deal with injuries, he will have to deal with LeBron, who'd still win the 2012 title. It'll be interesting to see how the Bulls compete with them, because starting in the 2013 season, we would see some dramatic changes to the NBA timeline. Instead of missing all 82 games, Rose would play every single night, averaging very similar stats to his MVP season. But his good health would show the most in the Bulls' record, as they would win 60 games, a 15-win improvement compared to real life, turning what was a good team into a true championship contender. But unfortunately for them, it still wouldn't be enough to get past the Miami Heat, who would eliminate them in 6 games in the conference finals. Even though D-Rose is staying healthy, the Bulls have been established as an underdog. The odds are stacked against them in their pursuit of a title.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City.
Fortunately for the Bulls, the Heat aren't unbeatable, as OKC would be changing history and defeating them in the finals. As mentioned earlier, everything about NBA history is going to change in this universe. And along with the yearly title winner, that also includes free agency, as well as the results of every season's draft. So keep that in the back of your mind as we kick off the 2014 season, where even as a former MVP, D-Rose may now be at his best. If you're not rehabbing an injury, you can actually work on your game. And as a result of countless hours in the gym, not only would Rose's points and assists reach career highs, but also his three-point percentage. And while it's unlikely that his shooting will ever reach the level of a Steph Curry, someone he'll definitely be compared to over the course of the years, it would be more than enough for the Bulls to return to the Eastern Conference Finals for another matchup against the Heat. One that would be very different from their past meetings, as Chicago would have their best ever chance to advance. As good as Miami is, they would be dealing with the uncertainty of LeBron's expiring contract, leaving the door open for Chicago in a way that hasn't been seen before. Because with the series tied up 2-2, the Bulls would be up by 1 with less than 2 minutes to play in Game 5. D-Rose and the Bulls can hold on, they'll be in great shape to advance to their first finals. LeBron James, top of the key, guarded by Sean Livingston, Chicago's new addition. He's going to get into the paint, and he's going to throw it away. Chicago with possession. Jimmy Butler with a pass over to Derrick Rose. The Bulls up by 1. A win would go a long way to go up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. 112-111. Rose his right hand. The scoop layup is up and it's in. It's a 3-point lead for Chicago. They have to hold on for 90 more seconds. The overwhelming majority of teams that win Game 3 wind up taking the whole series. James to the basket. His layup is good, redeeming himself from that last possession. Rose now with it, behind the back. An acrobatic layup over Chalmers. Or right past him, I should say. It's a 3-point lead again for Chicago. Luol Deng checking LeBron James. Top of the key. James into a crowd. He's going to spin, kick it out to Millsap, who passes up on a 3. He's going to set a screen for Chalmers going to his left. Chalmers is going to pass out of the layup. 5 seconds. A chaotic sequence for Miami. James is going to shoot a 3 and tie it up. Derrick Rose with 46 seconds left in a tie game. He's going to drive right. Gets to his left hand. He's pushed by Millsap. Draws a foul. First free throw is good. The second one makes it a 2-point game. Chicago has to get a stop. 42 seconds left. James with the ball. Still guarded by Luol Deng, getting into the paint. He gets switched off. The left-handed layup is in. LeBron James for the second time ties up the game. 33 seconds left. Tie game, 118-118. Derrick Rose, guarded by Chalmers again. No double team. Drives into LeBron. The in-and-out dribble, the spin move, the left-handed layup is good. 18 seconds left. LeBron James crossing half court, trying to tie up the game. He's getting to his right. He's going to dunk it on Deng. 3 straight game-tying buckets for LeBron. 12.7 seconds left. Chicago, can they get another bucket? Derrick Rose, still guarded by Chalmers. They clear out the right side of the floor, the middle of the floor for him. He gets to his right. The hop-step layup is no good. Chalmers for the win. And he would miss the full court heave, sending Game 5 to overtime. And as a result of their inability to steal Game 5 in regulation, they would be paying the price in OT. LeBron James, 126 left, overtime. About to get the screen from Millsap. He goes behind the back. He gets all the way into the paint. The right-handed layup is in. Miami reclaims the lead. 1:13 left. Derrick Rose with the in-and-out dribble gets right past Chalmers. It's blocked by James. The two-way sequence. Miami pushing it the other way. James gets it now. Guarded by Rose.
James is fouled.
And despite Chicago having a few moments where it appeared that they were going to win, it would be Miami taking it instead. And this would be a serious missed opportunity for the Bulls, as eventually they would be eliminated by the Heat for a third time in D. Rose's career, putting their starting five as a whole into question and D. Rose's reputation on the line.
This kid, who's a great kid, in this city, which is a great city, and I work there, are a bad fit for each other. He's tortured by trying to carry this team to a post-Michael Jordan championship, just one championship, and it all speaks to why I don't trust him in the playoffs.
And it's not getting any easier for him, as LeBron James and the Heat would be winning the 2014 title, and subsequently he would be re-signing with the Heat. So it's very much a possibility that he and D. Rose will cross paths again in the future. But despite the hardships, D. Rose would be turning 26 for the 2015 season, officially in the middle of his prime years that we missed out on in real life. And as a result, he would be winning his second MVP, beating out candidates such as Steph Curry, who'd shockingly be eliminated in the playoffs during the conference finals, and LeBron James, whose Heat would be losing to Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks in the second round, setting the stage for D. Rose to take over the Garden and advance to his first
NBA Finals. Game one is finally here, along with Mark Jackson, the Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on and Doris Burke with us as well. What a terrific matchup, featuring franchises that have fans that have suffered for a long time and have waited for a long time for a chance at a championship.
And the obvious matchup that has to be addressed would be the point guard duel between MVP Rose and Damian Lillard, which for Game 1 would lean in the favor of Portland, as Dame would be taking Game 1 at home. However, the two-time MVP would take over in Game 2. With the help of a now offensively developed Jimmy Butler, they would be taking a 2-1 lead shortly after. However, the real X factor for the Blazers, and perhaps the biggest reason why they've made it so far, would be the veteran LaMarcus Aldridge, along with their newest addition Dwight Howard. And these Twin Towers would help take the next two, now giving Portland a 3-2 lead. And that would be just too much for the Bulls, as even though Rose would win Game 6 at home, the Bulls would lose Game 7 relatively convincingly on the road. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to drive and take a wild layup, and that could be it. And a few possessions later, this one would be over. Dame, Aldridge, and Howard are all heroes in the state of Portland. And while D. Rose will have other opportunities in the future to win a ring, right now he'd be dealing with some major issues.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
As a result of that Game 7 loss, the NBA world would put Rose's leadership into question. He's not dealing with injuries, so his play has been fantastic, but there have still been some major struggles.
How do you feel? For your emotion.
And in 2016, it wouldn't be getting any easier. It's been 20 years since the Chicago Bulls' last title, with the shadow of MJ still looming over Rose. But that would only be a small problem in comparison to what he would have to deal with later. After first defeating the Cavaliers led by only Kyrie Irving in the first round of the playoffs, as well as taking down Paul George's Pacers in the second, keep them in mind, he would run into LeBron James and the Heat yet again. And once again, the Bulls would fall behind. Looks like the Bulls aren't calling a timeout with 12.3 left. Derrick Rose, guarded by Calderon. The pass over to Michael Beasley. He's gonna launch one. Michael Beasley takes the final shot. Now with the Bulls down 3-2, their late game execution wouldn't be any better in Game 6. Chicago down 3-2. Can they finally get past the Heat? Michael Beasley in the corner, over to Luol Deng. He coughs it up. It's a turnover. And for the fourth time, the Chicago Bulls would be eliminated by LeBron James's Heat. Once again, this is far from an unbeatable team, as they would wind up losing in the finals to the Warriors, giving Steph, Clay, and Dre their first championships 1 year later than in real life. But to keep the focus on D. Rose, it's pretty clear that the Miami Heat are to him what the Pistons were to Jordan in the past, and even how the Boston Celtics took advantage of a young LeBron in the 2000s. In both those situations, the young star eventually pulled through, but at age 28, now entering the 2017 season, could this be too much to overcome? Could D. Rose go down as an all-time great who failed to win a title? At the very least, the Bulls would give him a chance. While they would strike out on Kevin Durant during the offseason, they would get the second best free agent, Al Horford, to replace Joakim Noah, and sharpshooter JJ Redick to replace Luol Deng. And that's not to mention the constant improvement from Jimmy Butler, who's now crossed 20 points per game for the first time. However, a lot of legacies have and will continue to change in this universe. And one person who's benefiting a lot would be Paul George. He'd not only win the 2017 MVP, but he would also get his revenge on the Bulls, eliminating them in the postseason just as Chicago did to him 1 year ago to the date. And to close out the 2017 season, the Blazers would be winning another title. Dame would also be winning another Finals MVP, and it goes without saying how that hurts D. Rose in the process. So once again, the Bulls would be back to square one. And with Derrick Rose signing a 5-year max extension with the team that'll keep him there for the rest of his prime, you have to wonder if his loyalty will eventually result in a ring. Because for the 5th time in the Eastern Conference Finals, they would be up against the 2018 League MVP, as we'd be getting another duel between D. Rose and LeBron. However, this time, D-Wade is gone, Chris Bosh is old, and while that's not to say Miami's bad at all as the 2nd seed, the Bulls are in 1st, and thus they'd be going up 3-1. But while they're so close, there's no guarantee this is the breakthrough that Rose has been waiting on. If anyone's equipped to make this comeback, it would probably be James. And after outdueling Derrick Rose in Game 5, Miami would be in the position to cut the 3-1 deficit to just 3-2. No more timeouts left for Chicago. Derrick Rose, 8 seconds left, trying to eliminate LeBron. The pass over to Olynyk for the tie. And we're going to Game 6, heading back to Miami. And being back in this building has to be somewhat scary for the Bulls and their fans, as it's filled with some bad memories and the missed opportunities of the past. Rose finds himself in an interesting situation. It's his best opportunity ever to send home his greatest rival. But at the moment, the Bulls have no momentum. Ending to Game 6 would be a major question mark. For Chicago, trying to exercise their demons and finally defeat Miami. A lot of contact on the 3. D. Rose hits the deck. Rebounded by Austin Rivers, pushing the ball in transition. It's poked loose by Jimmy Butler. He's gonna push it. The pass over to Horford, and his layup is good. Good two-way sequence for Chicago to reclaim the lead. LeBron James, guarded by Horford. 14 seconds on the shot clock. He's gonna spin left into Horford's chest. No size advantage. The layup is off. Derrick Rose with the pass over to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy with the in-and-out dribble. He's going to go all the way into the paint. He's going to miss the layup, get his own rebound, kick it out to JJ Redick for the 3, and it's a 4-point game for Chicago. Couple people waiting to sub in for Miami. LeBron James, it's poked loose by Butler again. Jimmy Butler with 2 steals down the stretch. The crossover, guarded by Reggie Jackson. He's gonna do a hop step into the paint. A lot of contact, and the layup is good. Jimmy Butler with 3 huge plays down the stretch. LeBron James, another steal by Butler. It's picked off. He's got Jeff Teague on him. Gets into the post. The pass over to Redick. Jimmy Butler, the hero in Game 6. The pass over to Derrick Rose. Driving to his right. Blocked by James. It goes out of bounds. 3-2 comeback is not looking so promising for Miami, but it's not over yet. D. Rose, wide open, catch and shoot. The improved jumper. It's a 9-point game out of nowhere. The Bulls on a run. Finally going to advance past the Heat. LeBron James' layup is good. Miami's gonna need a miracle. The pass over to JJ Redick. The full court press. 34 seconds left. A huge run down the stretch by the Bulls. Derrick Rose wide open for 3. He misses it. Does Miami have a miracle in him? Jeff Teague's gonna pull up from 3. No good. Rebounded by Rose. The Heat aren't fouling. And for the first time since 2015, the Chicago Bulls are returning to the NBA Finals. And after 5 attempts, the Chicago Bulls have finally gotten past the Miami Heat. And if it wasn't clear before, D. Rose and Jimmy Butler are an elite duo, with either capable of taking over a game, with Jimmy just now starting to hit his peak. Jimmy Butler 27, Derrick Rose 25, the dynamic duo. 2018 LeBron, 41 points. The 2018 Finals would be between Derrick Rose and Steph Curry, who would be meeting for the first time. These 2 very different point guards would lead each of their teams to a win in the first 2 games. However, going forward, it would be Rose and Butler with the slight advantage over the Splash Bros. And after a few more games, they'd be up 3-2. It's been about a decade and it hasn't been easy, but D. Rose is on the brink of his first title. But the Bulls would drop the ball in Game 6. Butler wouldn't have any answers for Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry would win the point guard duel that night. behind the back, gets back to his left hand, spin move into the lane. The layup is good, and it's a 9-point lead. And as a result, the Warriors would eventually win Game 6 to tie up the series and send it to 7, which would be played out in perhaps the scariest arena possible for a road team, with the Golden State faithful cheering on their home team. As we check into the final 2 minutes, the Bulls would be in a very rough spot. 2 minutes left in Game 7, Draymond Green with the ball. He's gonna drive right into the paint. The layup is good. 6-point deficit for the Bulls in Game 7. Not looking too promising. Derrick Rose bringing it up. They clear out for him. He's guarded by Steph. The crossover right with the left hand. The layup is in. Cuts it down to 4. Chicago needs a stop. Steph Curry bringing it up. Looks like they're running a play for Clay to get it on the right side. They flow into a pick and roll. Steph wide open on the right wing. It's in and out. Rebounded by Olynyk. Chicago with some life. JJ Redick driving left between the legs. Pass over to Rose. The handoff. His layup is good. And one. And with this free throw, he can cut it down to a singular point. Steph Curry on the other end. Still guarded by Rose. 15 seconds left. They flow into another pick and roll. He's wide open. On the wing again. He misses his second straight 3. With the game on the line, JJ Redick. The pass over to Rose. Fighting his way into the paint. The layup is off the floater. And Chicago is still down with 40 seconds left. Steph Curry. 38 seconds on the clock. The pass over to Clay. He doesn't take the 3. Steph's gonna cut back door on Redick. The pump fake. It's poked loose by JJ Redick. JJ Redick with the defensive play. He's gonna push it on the other end. The pass over to Derrick Rose in the left corner for the lead. Derrick Rose leading the comeback. Chicago up by 2. 22 seconds left. Game 7 coming down to the wire for the 2018 season. Steph Curry looking for his second championship. Derrick Rose looking for his first. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Klay Thompson on the left wing. Draymond Green setting the screen. Steph Curry wide open, his 3rd attempt. He misses another one. Kelly Olynyk's heading to the line. Down the stretch, it's Derrick Rose with the clutch 3 instead of Curry. Olynyk makes the first, and the second is good. 4-point lead, 9.7 seconds left. No more timeouts for Golden State. Desperation mode. Harrison Barnes with the size up. He steps into a 2, and that's gonna do it.
There it is. One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete. And the Bulls are the NBA champions.
And it really did seem like they were dead in the water. But the Bulls were able to pull off a 10-0 run to win the game with the clutch shot coming from Rose. But for the moment, while the Bulls had their time to celebrate, the 2019 season would serve as a sort of intermission. In the background, the league has changed a ton, and the young stars are well on their way. And a great example would be Giannis, who's winning his first MVP on the Detroit Pistons, while Joel Embiid would be changing his legacy forever and leading the Orlando Magic to the championship. And it really just goes to show how at age 31, D Rose's career is closer to the end than the beginning, especially in terms of competing for championships. Before we see how 2020's playoffs go, let's fast forward a bit to 2021, where the Golden State Warriors would eventually win the championship over Detroit. But Giannis would bounce back the following year, winning the 2022 championship, which would open the door for the NBA's other young stars to start winning their own titles. In 2023, it would be the Brooklyn Nets who've snagged Tatum in the background. 2024 would see the Greek Freak rise above again, and in 2025, which would be D Rose's retirement season, Luka Doncic and the Milwaukee Bucks would be winning the title. So that means the 2020 playoffs would essentially be D Rose's last chance to win his second championship. But while he's running out of time, do not mistake that for a lack of ability, as both he and Jimmy would get to work, picking up where they left off from the regular season where they finished as the first seed, sweeping the Washington Wizards in the first round and getting past the Toronto Raptors in 5 in the second. But after those two teams, the playoffs would be taking a huge jump in difficulty. In the conference finals, the Bulls would be facing the Pistons and the league MVP. And while in the end they'd actually win in 6, this was not an easy series at all. And there really should be no surprise that Giannis was able to find success in the future. For now, however, we'd have a rematch of the 2018 finals between Golden State and Chicago, the series playing out in a very similar fashion to the first. The Bulls would have the upper hand going up 3-2, but just like the 2018 finals, Game 6 would be an issue. Kelly Olynyk with the pass into Derrick Rose, about 13 seconds left in the game. Chicago needs a 3. Derrick Rose is gonna launch one from the logo and misses it. And for the second time against Golden State, and a third time in his 3 finals appearances, D Rose and the Bulls would be going to Game 7. He's dealt with some of the hardest playoff runs ever, and it's all coming to a boiling point for a championship that's unlike any other before. The stage is set, and with less than 2 minutes to play, Game 7 would see both teams separated by just 2 points. Here we go. Chicago down by 2, 1:44 remaining, behind the back by Rose. He's gonna stop, take a bank shot, and miss it. Rebounded by Green, pushing it on the break. He's gonna pass it up to Klay Thompson, who pulls up early in the shot clock. And Golden State is up by 5 with about 90 seconds left to play. Derrick Rose going into the paint, right into Noel. He draws the foul. Plenty of basketball left, but it's looking like it's in the favor of Steph Curry. He and the Warriors trying to redeem themselves from their earlier loss to Chicago. In Oracle Arena, in Oakland, it's poke loose. Derrick Rose with the steal, the hit ahead to Jimmy Butler with the two-handed slam. It's a 1-point game. Chicago right back in it. 1:07 remaining. Steph Curry between the legs, hop step, kicks it out to Noel. He's gonna pass it off to Draymond Green, who hits Steph Curry. Pump fake, driving right, reverse layup is in. Another acrobatic finish from the chef, and Chicago calls timeout with 50.4 left to play. It's the final 50.4 in the 2020 season. Al Horford looking for Derrick Rose. He can't get it to him. They finally get it to him on the wing. 48 seconds left. Derrick Rose gets Klay Thompson switched onto him, right into Draymond's chest, and one. With a chance to tie, Derrick Rose hits the free throw. D Rose and company have gone to wars with LeBron James and now Steph Curry. 40 seconds left. Steph on the backdoor. Pump fake. He draws the foul on Rose. As you would expect, Steph Curry made the first free throw and the second as well. Derrick Rose pushing it up the floor. 2-for-1 situation for Chicago. He kicks it out to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler between the legs, the hop step. He passes it off to Kelly Olynyk, who tries to take the lead with a three. It's batted around, and it's staying right here. Butler passed out of a shot. The second time we've seen Kelly Olynyk take a shot in the final moments of the game. They pass it over to him. JJ Redick gets it. Derrick Rose with 10 seconds on the shot clock, 20 on the game clock. The 2020 season winding down. Rose with the pass down to Al Horford. He's fouled. Noel has been a foul machine down the stretch. First free throw is good for Horford. And the second to tie it up with 14.4 left to play. Rolls off the rim. The pass over to Steph Curry. Al Horford misses the free throw. And now with the second free throw, a 3-point game. Some missed free throws down the stretch could be costly. Could potentially cost the Chicago Bulls a championship. Jimmy Butler with a pump fake. He gets the Kawhi bounce, and we're all tied. Jimmy Butler ties up the game. 3.6 left on the clock. Plenty of time, though. For the Golden State Warriors, they're running a play for Steph Curry to get wide open. They pass it to him at the mid-range. 3 seconds left into the paint. And the 2020 finals would be heading into overtime. Jimmy Butler set the table with a three. And in OT, he'd be adding to his sudden Finals MVP case with his performance on the other end. Jimmy Butler with the defensive play. It goes out of bounds. It's off Hayward. Jimmy Butler with the shot to send the Bulls into overtime, and the defensive play to preserve the 3-point lead. 1 minute left. Al Horford setting the screen for Rose. Rose going to the left. The pass down. It's deflected. And we're going to have a jump ball between Horford and Curry. It's kind of an awkward angle, but it looks like the Warriors are going to win the jump ball. The hit ahead to Gordon Hayward, going all the way through traffic. And once again, we're right back to a 1-point game. Potentially the greatest rivalry in the history of the sport. Derrick Rose, Steph Curry, blocked by Noel at the rim. Klay Thompson with it now on the break. He's gonna pull up from the mid-range over Redick. It's tapped, and it's staying with Golden State. 14 on the shot clock, 33.9 on the game clock. Draymond Green finds Steph Curry with a little bit of space. He misses the three. Fatigue setting in. 25 seconds left. Chicago's up by 1. Golden State can play for a stop. A three would effectively end it. Rose, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 9 seconds left. 7 seconds left. He backs it all the way out. 5 seconds. Hesitation. Step back. He's going to pull up for the long two. No good. Golden State calls another timeout. And this could pretty much be it. Down by 1. 5.3 left. They pass it down to Klay Thompson, who dunks over JJ Redick. What just happened? Klay Thompson with the out-of-body experience. 3.2. Chicago looking for Derrick Rose. He gets it at the free throw line.
Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls